What up, everybody? It is Sunday afternoon. That means we're live on the Weekly Walkoff MLB Podcast. This is episode 9. Time is flying by. We're 5 weeks in to the MLB season, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. I was talking to the boys here and switching up the format just a little bit. We're going to still do a weekly baseball recap and then move a little bit more heavily into the upcoming week in baseball. So we'll talk basically 4 days at a time, Monday through Thursday, Friday through Sunday, so that even if you're catching up on this podcast on a Thursday, still completely relevant going into Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the stacks that we like, the pitcher streams that we like, and all of that good stuff. Welcome everybody in today. We got a nice live crowd. We'll do a giveaway. We got Martin Perez ready to rock with a good matchup coming up this week. Nate, Greg, what's going on?
How we doing?
Thank you for having me back after my absence last week at the Dodgers game.
You were here in full form.
That was like the most LA experience of my life. I had a friend in town. He was flying out at 4:30. The game started at 1. We were like, yeah, let's at least try to catch a few minutes. The traffic was so bad. We got there at 2. I walked us to our seats, and then he had to leave 10 minutes later for a flight. So he saw like 2 batters.
Very LA.
And I was like, this is the most cliche LA experience of my life.
I don't think the pitch clock would hit any fan base harder than LA.
Yes.
Like getting to the game in traffic, I'm like, that's one of the first things I thought when it came to the pitch clock. Like, dude, these guys better get there way early because the 3rd inning, and when they usually show up, is going to be the 7th inning.
It's so true. I think we like walked through the gate at like 1:46 maybe, and it was like the top of the 4th or the bottom of the 4th or something. So yeah, you're so right.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I mean, at least you'll get home a little bit earlier on weeknights, right? So the traffic will die down a little bit quicker and you'll get out of the ballpark a little bit better. But yeah, let's jump into the baseball for the week, man. I think we were talking live. One of the top highlights that I had here is the Sox sweeping the Jays in 4 games. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's talk. I'll let you guys just rip. It's the Sox are looking nice right now. I just got Yoshida on a trade for my Volpe T1, so I'm happy about that too.
It's a good place to start, I think. Yoshida, like what a turn from the first couple of weeks of the season. And I wish I could rattle them off my head, but I know that he's like quickly climbing the ranks of all these statistical categories, especially in the last since like May 15th or something, or sorry, April 15th or something like that. Like he is just out of his mind.
Yeah, I think what is he up to? A 15-game hitting streak now, I think.
Did he keep it going?
16. Is it 16?
Oh my goodness.
Wait,
he was at 14 last time I checked. So yeah, if he kept it going, I mean,
that's his last game, Greg.
939 OPS.
That's insane.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like it's funny on Twitter because it's so many scarred and cautious Red Sox fans being like, was this a good signing?
Yeah.
It's like,
is this Rusney Castillo?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's exciting. I wish it was September and not April and May, but we'll see. Yeah.
The question marks remain the same with the rotation, but there is some excitement there. Chris Sale, 2 out of his last 3 starts have been money. Brian Bayo looking good. It's there's hope in the areas where they're weakest. And that to me is equally exciting to the offense because you got to have both. And if your offense is this good, you can get away with middle of the road, staff, but bullpen's been good. Kenley's been nails. Fortunately he's back from that quick little stint with, didn't even go on the IL, but yeah, man, the Sox are just, you got Jarren Duran getting called up. Jarren Duran 2.0, the guy we thought maybe we'd have last year. He's kind of being that guy right now, 11 doubles or 12 doubles, something like that in his limited ABs. And it's top to bottom. Verdugo is one of the top players in fantasy baseball. It's a lot of guys surprising you. Even Costas, who's batting under 200, good ABs. He's seeing the ball well. Monster home run in center today. They're a fun team to watch right now.
Do you know my favorite Red Sox stat recently that I looked at the standings and came up with this myself? They are 4th right now 4th in the AL East, but they have the 5th best record in all of baseball. Isn't that insane?
It's insane.
I was like saying this to my wife in the car, and she was like, "That doesn't matter. They're in 4th place." And I was like, "Shut up! No,
no." It is. Hopefully, we benefit from the fact that this is the first year where you're only playing, 2/3 of the games that you usually do against your division. So, a small glass half full there, but it's going to be a battle no matter what. But they look like a contender. We'll see where it shakes out.
It's heating up in the East for sure. And one of the things, like, I want to take a look into the Sorare marketplace a little bit later on guys who are kind of like buy lows who are actually starting to pick up. Costas is one of them for sure.
Yep.
His advanced stats still look good.
Yep.
And yeah, just the Sox are heating up in general. But I mean, look at the NL the AL.
Looking at it right now.
I mean,
it's
like
insane.
Unbelievable. I mean, the
14 to 20 wins.
The Yankees will be charging back. I mean, we had Harrison Bader is back, which is a huge addition to them. I mean, coming out the gates hot, 2 home runs this weekend. Was it 2 or more? Crazy. So that looks good.
Greg's hidden.
What's that?
I love watching Greg peek over the.
Dude.
We're good. It's all good.
All right. What else are we watching? The Cleveland series. Who'd they play? The Twins? Cleveland Twins.
Yep.
Low scoring game today. Joe Ryan, another solid performance out there. Let me see here. Brave series, back-to-back wins after a bad start to the series. Unfortunately, Sean Murphy, who's been the absolute GOAT for me, had the day off today. So, yeah. But what else do we got here?
You really feel those little things that happen in So Rare. And fortunately, there's 2 game weeks per week. But, man, like I had Luis Castillo. His start got bumped from Thursday to Friday last week, which lost me a starting pitcher in a contest. We saw the Braves and the Mets get rained out a couple games a couple weeks ago. That stuff stings in So Rare. It stings. It leaves a big hole.
Absolutely. Yeah. I got hurt by that today. John Gray, one of my lineups here, I think in 12th place right now. We'll refresh it real quick and won't get too sidetracked, but John Gray was one of those guys that got bumped. I know Hunter Brown's start got bumped today. So, lots of stuff like that going on. Twins looking pretty solid, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, Sonny Gray's looking really good. Pablo Lopez, like they're looking good in the Central. Everyone expected the Guardians. I think they're going to be all right. And another thing too, I mean, like I was looking at this the other day because I caught a little bit of Verlander's first start back, and I was just thinking, the Tigers aren't all that bad to watch.
Yeah, look at that, 3rd in the division.
Exactly.
Didn't expect that. That's amazing.
Yeah. Let me see here. What else do we got in the chats?
I think the real update of the week is what is the Oakland A's run differential? Our weekly segment. How much has it gone down?
We are looking at minus 124
on
the season.
Right down there at the bottom. Ugh.
Yeah. But in positive news, they got their first win for a starting pitcher this week.
Mason Miller.
Excellent.
I think it was Miller.
Did he beat? I know everyone is talking about it, and I didn't get to see it at all. I mean, I think 500 people saw it live in Oakland. Rain delay.
500 Oakland A's staff members
in Oakland game. Yeah, exactly. Mason Miller versus Bryce Miller was just a complete pitcher's duel. Like both had like perfect games or no hitters going into the 6th inning.
Yeah.
And Bryce Miller's throwing today. He's pitching a shutout against Houston, at least the last time that I checked. So that's exciting to see. He doesn't even have a card on So Rare yet. A lot of these guys who are pitching right now, like I'm waiting for some pitchers to drop on So Rare because there's other guys out there, looking pretty good on the mound too. DJ Local, yep. Brown.
To linger on the A's for a quick second, I saw an ad. I think it was on Instagram, something on social media. A summer general admission pass to 37 Oakland Athletics games. Any guesses how much?
Oh, let me. Yeah. I
37, you said?
37 games, general admission for the whole summer. Give me a guess. How much?
$250.
I mean, I'll say 600.
$99. $99 for 37 games.
That's
man,
pretty
That's
shocking.
less than $3 a game. Just had to throw that out there.
That is John Riley hit it on the nose.
Yep, he nailed it.
nice.
There we go. 2 games, not starting the Braves this week. So Rare says only 2 games. Yeah, there we
Atlanta's
go.
only got 2 games for game week. What are we on? 12, 13? Game week 12.
Game week 12 coming up. Game week 13 would be Friday through Sunday.
Two game series, Atlanta, Boston, which should be fun to watch, but takes a lot of firepower out of the lineups in terms of the obvious route to take. Tough to play a two game guy. Although last week we saw Arizona with a 2-game week, and I think Christian Walker put up 69 and Ketel Marte put up 50. So you never know. You can go contrarian with it.
There you go. Yeah, that's another thing too. I mean, like one of the stacks that I like most for this upcoming week, game week 12, is the Mets. They're going to have to wake up at some point. I mean, they're playing in Cincinnati. It's a launch pad over there. Hopefully the weather's good. Who knows what Cincinnati weather's like this time of year. But I would rather have those guys 3 games, and I'm going to roll them out there too, I think. So that should be fun.
Actually, it's Philly and Toronto as well only have 2 games. So there's some huge teams with only 2 games in a 4-game game week.
That's right.
Makes it a really, really interesting one.
Should be a fun one. Vladdy's wrist is like kind of hurt right now too, I think. Anything else? Let's take a look at. Yeah, there's some injuries, man, going on right now too. Like the Astros, their pitching staff is getting banged up a bit. DJ Local, I think, was the one that threw it out. Bielik getting the start in the Discord. But he's getting a start. He's already scheduled for another start like later this week. So they're penciling him in pretty strong for a Luis Garcia injury. So I don't know when what's his name, McCullers is coming back either. So
not sure.
Let's take a look at the National League, I guess. I mean, how about that Rockies run differential climbing up a little bit? -35. It's not half bad for the Rockies. I thought they were trending a lot worse than that.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. Not too shabby. Just 14-21, not too bad.
All of those just make the A's run differential so hilarious. Like none of these are even half of theirs.
Historic. Miami's getting up there. -57.
Yeah.
Somehow nearly a 500 team. That's pretty impressive.
I have both of their squads. That's just destroying my point total in our draft.
You have Miami and Oakland?
Yeah.
Ooh. You know, Miami might be all right, man. They're starting to hit a little bit. They're actually kind of fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Luis Arise alone, I feel like is worth the watch. And Jazz.
That man is insane. Arise is an absolute hit machine.
Is he still batting over 400?
I believe so.
I think so.
We could pull it up. Let me see here. Yeah, Riley. Yeah, hopefully Alonso gets hot in Cincinnati. I think so too. I picked up Alonso. DJ Local coming in. McCullers looking at June. Okay. All right. So I picked up Alonso on auction this week. Always wanted to have him. Always want to hold him long term. So I figured might as well
he's as get in on it. So rare as it comes. Like that's a great pickup on you.
Yeah. I just, one thing in terms of like so rare strategy that I've noticed now that I wish I would have done in the off season was go deeper on my limited lineups and less on the rares. I didn't think one of the things was I was not expecting to be able to mix in limiteds with rares because even though you were able to do that last year, they completely cut it off for basketball after about a handful of weeks into a season. So I basically built out a whole rare lineup, but I wish I could have gone a little bit deeper on the limiteds and just had a little bit more depth. I'm starting to do that slowly as the season kind of goes, where you pick up a streaming pitcher for a week and then you don't sell him off after. You just kind of keep him in the bank. What's his name? Justin Steele was great for that this week. Put up 29. Unfortunately, like the rest of the lineup didn't hold up, but I mean, he's gonna be a solid dude.
I couldn't agree more. I definitely miscalculated that on my initial assessment of kind of how Sorare is going to work, and I got fuzzy there. Yeah, I kind of felt like, oh, you can just grab some stars and plug them in, but when you're trying to come in the top couple percent of a tournament, it really comes down to having options and trying to play those higher upside matchups.
Yep.
And certainly in the 4-game week, you got to have the guys with 4 games. It just gives you a much bigger percentage. So it takes having a deeper collection to do that. And I do think that you want to play whatever your budget is, you want to play within the division where you can have that luxury of options. And that's seems to be the way to go about winning these tournaments, or catching these tournaments, I should say.
Yep. Couple of questions in here. Panther Rob, shout out Panther Rob. Any advice on rookies to buy and stash for Sorare? John Riley comes in with a Mason Miller recommendation. I love that. Medic 31, Outman and Will Brennan. Nice. I mean, I like guys like, I don't know. And I don't know the prices right now. I've been kind of looking at them, but I don't know off the top of my head. Like, technically he's a rookie this year, but Estuary Ruiz has been so much fun, and he's been on my fantasy baseball team. And the dude like started off slow with his steals, but he just gets 2 a game now. I mean, he's just stealing 2 bags a game. It's ridiculous.
I think that the rookie prospect conversation is a really, really interesting one for Sorare, because it's completely opposite from traditional fantasy baseball. Traditional fantasy baseball, the earlier you get in on a guy, the cheaper he is. So if you want to pick a guy up, like if you want to go, we have one non-active spot in my keeper league. And so we've got Jordan Lawler sitting there ready for him to get called up. He cost us nothing. We picked him up off the waiver wire. The second Jordan Lawler gets released in Sorare, he's going to be incredibly expensive, because there's going to be 1 of him, and then there's going to be 2 of him. So that the auction setup, the fact that you don't have the availability until he goes and plays, to me, stacking younger guys in that kind of dynasty mentality, you're better off being patient. Now, it's not to say that you can't go grab a guy if you really like him and you just want him right out of the gate. By all means, go for it. It's supposed to be fun. But in terms of the cost benefit analysis, it really is counterintuitive when it comes to what we're used to with fantasy sports.
I was going to ask you guys that like specific anomaly, is that an anomaly for MLB Sorare versus football and versus NBA? Like the fact that someone can get hot out of nowhere because baseball has so many prospects coming up all the time, and suddenly there's 1 card on the site, or like the site has to catch up to that performance, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. Is that a specific, in your experience, just to MLB?
I think so. I think because the scoring is cumulative, right? And you don't have to worry about how many minutes they're playing or what their cap is. I think it's a lot more, that way with Sorare MLB than it is on NBA soccer. I don't know. I don't play it enough, but from a scoring perspective in baseball, like, I would think
there's like nothing like it in daily fantasy. Like it just it's true scarcity, right? And that, I mean, that's Web3, but it's fascinating. And like as it slowly catches up, they are benefiting from there being one of
right. And I think that's the half of the equation where it's like, if you've got a feeling about a guy, by all means go for it, because it's a huge advantage to have a guy that nobody else has in tournaments like this, because if he goes off, you're one of a handful of people getting that benefit. And that's why you saw people going nuts on the Tatis cards out of the gate. They're overpriced. We know that, but you're getting significant value early on when there's literally none of them.
I mean, last week alone, we saw Miguel Vargas go off big. That was huge. I mean, he probably had a couple hits at the game that you were at, Greg. But I missed.
He was
on the tear last week.
Where I was in the car.
Yeah. Let me see here. In football, Mark says, in football, someone could get subbed in and score 2 goals, but staying hot on a hot streak is difficult. Okay. There you go. What else do we got here? I mean, maybe we take a look.
I do have our updated draft.
Oh, let's go.
You want to see that real quick?
Let's take a look.
Things are starting to even out here.
Let's go.
I got a tab.
We like that.
It's still a ways, but
the Pirates.
you gotta fire me.
I'm just looking at the standings right now, man. The Pirates stay hot in the NL. The NL Central is fun. It's close. The Cardinals, my goodness, what are you doing?
So ignore all the red because this all. I mean, I guess the red that is now positive means they went from negative to positive. So the Blue Jays had a monster week, and Diamondbacks now are in the positive. But
now that I see my point total, it seems I celebrated it a bit earlier.
Yeah, but in comparison, I mean, the thing is, it's going to even out as our wins are worth 2, and the run differential kind of goes up and down. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting. I have a question though for the group. Obviously, we have our milestone points, and only one has been cashed in thus far this season, which was Luis Arraez's cycle. Do we add immaculate inning to this list? Is that worthy of points? If someone on a team throws an immaculate inning?
Yeah,
sure. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like 10 points, right? It's not quite a cycle. It's not quite a no-hitter perfect game.
Yeah.
That's a 9-pitch, 3 strikeout inning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I say go 25 on that. I mean, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. These are fun bonuses either way. I know that happened this week, but I don't remember who did it.
You can't put it, hold on. You can't put it at the same as a no-hitter. No hitter.
I agree. So I feel like, what about 15? We'll meet in the middle.
15's good.
Let's go 15.
All right. Well, I'm glad you guys voted on that because it happened for the Pirates. No, wait, hold on. It happened for the Pirates. Colin Holderman. So
perfect.
Just adding a little 15 there. We're good.
Actually, you know what? I don't want to do it.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, that's interesting. DJ Loco, that's a good question. It's an interesting question.
I say it still counts. Pitch clock assisted, it still counts.
Yeah, but I mean, knowing this, I feel like this will happen again this season. A couple immaculate innings.
Did I hear that?
How are you feeling about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go for it, Nate.
I was just gonna say, how are we feeling about the pitch clock at this point? We don't have to do a long segment on it, but I think there have been some intriguing things with like some standing ovations that have led to didn't Bellinger get one in his first game back in LA? I forget what it was, but there have been a couple first at bats, like back with their old team or whatever, and umps don't have the wherewithal to just, read the room, man. Read the room. Like, I'm pro pitch clock at this point, but I'm not for that. Like, let's have a little common sense.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I think somebody got a pitch clock violation in their MLB debut first ever at bat.
Yeah, it was Maggie, right? That
was one of them. I think that was one of them.
30 Joe Maggie. I think he had 2 plays of the day or plays of the week, whatever, on Candy, but 30 something guy who'd played 1,000 or 1,100 minor league games, came up and like took the moment in and got a called strike.
Yeah.
So those McCutcheon, I think, and his like Pittsburgh return, same thing. You're right. There has to be some leeway in that regard.
Right. We got to have a little common sense. It shouldn't be that difficult to observe the moment that's occurring and delay the start of that clock or reset it if you need to.
Yeah. Unreal. Other than that, fine. Sure.
DJ Local says you have to apply for standing ovations before the game. I heard that, and that's absolutely ridiculous.
No way.
It's ridiculous.
I literally thought that was a joke when he said that.
No, it's real.
That's real?
That's real. You have to submit it to the MLB. I forgot that, but he's right. I heard that on a game I was watching.
Oh man.
Wow.
Pujols would just put one in every single game for the entirety of last season. Miguel Cabrera should start doing it now.
That's wild. Like the man, that bugs me. Because the comp is like an umpire who, if it's Pujols, he gives him like a little. It's not a secret that he will give leeway to players who are veterans or that he has a relationship with or whatever. Not like tremendous leeway, but like benefit of the doubt type stuff.
Human nature.
There we go. Miguel stuffing in. Yep, Harper did it. Shout out Just Mike It, one of the top Sorare managers out there. Good to have you in, brother. Medic wants to know how Verlander did on his first return. I just pulled it up. It was fun to watch. He gave up 2 solo shots, I think. 5 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs. So 5 Ks. So that was against the Tigers on Thursday, something like that. Good to have him back for sure.
Was it Scherzer got shelled in his first start back, didn't he? Like hard. Which begs a question.
Did he pitch already? No, he didn't pitch this year at all. That was his first one.
No, Scherzer.
Scherzer. Yes. I think Scherzer did get shelled.
What day did he pitch on? I can't remember.
I'll look it up now. His last start, he was 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 homers. Against the Tigers also.
Is Scherzer a cheater? The umpires were pretty
sweat and rosin, Nate. Come on.
That's what he said, but umpires said different. I don't know. This stuff is interesting.
It is interesting. Let me see here. Live look. Should we look live into the top scores of Sorare this week and then kind of go into the next upcoming stacks? Or
yeah, let's do it.
I thought you were gonna say in the Philadelphia-Boston playoff game, NBA, where Boston just choked at the buzzer.
That series,
and I would have said no.
That series is going to be such a dogfight. I was watching on Friday, and it's just going to be a fun one. As a fan, a general sports fan, like it's going to be a fun series to watch, man. I'm hoping the Celtics come out on top. Would love to see a Celtics Lakers NBA Finals, but let's see. Here we go. Let me see here. Just Mike it. Check out the top 10 and see how many are relief pitchers. That is a great point to make, actually. So John Morosi on the MLB Network. Did you guys see that segment that they did on Sorare? It's actually the theme of the thumbnail for this episode. Like, it was incredible. He basically got on with who was the guy that he was on there with? But on the episode and went over Sorare specific points so far this season. And they went over relievers, right? So Paul Sewald was on the top. Morosi was saying that, he's going to start considering relief pitchers in his flex spot. Just Mike, it's going to start considering relief pitchers in his flex spot too. It's because, when there's a game week with 4, games and they get 5 points just for getting in that game, let alone potential double save opportunities. Like,
right. That's the key. It's the double save.
It could be a high risk, right? Like, you need to think that, they're not either going to go in and blow a team out or whatever, but in the right situation, there it is.
Yeah. I actually created an ESPN fantasy league just for myself with the Sorare scoring so that I could look at the points based on Sorare scoring. And
you nerd.
Exactly. Absolutely. What do you think I'm here?
Key to victory.
top pitchers. Paul Sewald, or hold on. Sorry. Here we go. There we go. Paul Sewald, Josh Hader, Emmanuel Clase, Carlos Estevez, David Bednar, Felix Bautista, Jordan Romano, then Garrett Cole.
Goodness.
Wow.
Those are the top scoring pitchers so far.
Yeah, I agree. That's broken. That shouldn't.
It is broken, and it's we've talked about how frustrating it is to manage, and that explains it, right? You could get 0, you could get 45, and it's one relief pitcher. It should not have that big an impact on the eventual outcome. Which, to the point, the reason I'm wearing my Diamondbacks hat here is 2 weeks ago. I think I was in second place when we went live. I finished in 5th place. I had a good stack. I got good points from my hitters, but it really came down to the fact that Devin Williams got me 2 saves and 37 points that week. That's what put me that high up. And I agree with Mike. That shouldn't have that big an impact.
I agree too. Riley likes it the way it is. DJ Local, that is an amazing point there. It's like kickers in fantasy football, right?
Which I've been lobbying to get out of my fantasy football league for years.
There we go. Let me see here. All right. So at the top this week, Merrill Kelly, 41, Bailey Olber, 36, Sandy, 35, Evaldi, and Dustin May round out the top 5 relief pitchers. We'll take a look here again. Kenley Jansen, Clase, Duvall, Verhagen, and Tanner Scott up there, all north of 30. There's, a handful of pitchers north of 30, of relief pitchers north of 30, right? And again, I think good point here by John too. High risk, high reward. I see it that way.
Yeah.
like I don't think I'm ready to place relief pitchers in my flex spots yet. But
I was going to ask if that was the move statistically then. Obviously it's a risk, but
I think it depends on what your objectives are. If you're going for broke every time, it certainly seems to have if getting 40 points from a spot is really good, right? If you've got 7 spots, if you get 40 points per spot, that's 280. That's going to get you a big prize every time. So in terms of the likelihood of getting 40 points from a player, it seems like it's a pretty decent shot that instead of having to hit a home run for 10 points, you just need a game to end up in a certain situation. And especially in a 4-game week, you see a matchup, a series of pretty evenly matched teams. So I think it's definitely a high risk, high reward. You could easily grab a 0, which I'm in jeopardy of having with Devin Williams this week. Although I do have Kenley Jansen helping me with a potential cash in All-Star because he got those 2 saves. So
yeah,
it's what I think that what I don't like about it is that in order to score that high, you need to get that many points from a reliever. And so like getting 2 saves in a week from a reliever being the benchmark to really cash super high, it seems like a little bit too random variance rather than accurately picking players with good matchups.
Yep. A couple of things here, Mike. I mean, Mike's got a deep history in Sorare. He was like one of the big guys last year, and has a lot of skin in the game for sure. He's super rare, unique lineup type of guy here. And apparently that a lot of this was trying to get rid of Strider's RP card. But that wasn't broken. The entire community asked for this, and here we are now. Like, what are some solutions though? I just kind of looking back on it, things are obviously able to change since they did add that 5 points from last year. It seems a little interesting that, you get the 10 points and the 5 points if the save comes into place? There you go. So like the 10 points in addition to the 5 just for that appearance. Right. 5 for an appearance seems a little high too, looking back on it. Maybe it's 3 and you don't get those 3 points if they get a save also or a hold. Yeah. And that kind of is a more dynamic thing. But
I think you just I don't think you need it at all. But if you want to have it, then you, like you said, you decrease how much you get for a save. I just think that the maximum possible output for a closer should have less impact on the total. So I think you just take some of those points away, and then a 2 save week is still hugely beneficial, but you end up with 25 to 30 points instead of 40 to 45 points.
Yes, agreed. A couple things in here. Hud's dog, what's going on? Hud's dog's going to make it. Paul is going to make it to the hashtag. We're about 10 minutes away from the hashtag. Maybe we let Paul pick the hashtag today. It's Martin Perez. Paul, drop it in the chat what you want people to hashtag. We'll let you do the honors since you miss it every week. Let me see here. Rewards. Let's talk about rewards while I pull up. I mean, I guess we'll just talk about the corner infielders, then we'll go into the slates for the upcoming week and some streaming options too. But Paul Goldschmidt, Santander, Alberto, Ryan Noda, who I picked up as a T4 of my reward for last week, threw him in my leftovers lineup and puts up a nice, I think it was like 67. Yeah, because of the 15 points extra on 15% extra. Brent Rooker up there. And of course, Brandon Belt, who's just, has been screwing me all season, is a top scorer on the week. Middle infielder, Jonathan India, Alberto, Merrifield, Tovar looking pretty good. That's a rookie who's like potentially a buy low situation. Yep. And Jonah Heim is hitting the ball well too. Outfielder, Lourdes Gurriel, Harrison Bader. That makes me smile. That guy's a ball player. Never really liked him, but he is a ball player.
Thank you for saying that. Now that he's on the Yankees. I liked him in St. Louis, but as soon as he made it to the Yankees, I was like, I gotta hate you now.
Yeah.
But he's had some fun mic'd up moments too last season.
Yeah. I love how they do that, man. The mic'd up. I like to flip Sunday Night Baseball back and forth between the A-Rod show and the regular show. Like some of those guests that they have are fun. Some of them are whatever, but
those, I will say I've done the same. the A-Rod or K-Rod show has the most random guests.
Yeah.
Like I forget what I turned in. It was like Bobby Witt Sr., Bobby Witt Jr. And I was like, that's amazing. They got both of them at the same time. And then I flipped back and it was like Waka Flocka and like Chrissy Teigen or something. It was like the most random. I was like, what? It's just a talk show.
I think Meek Mill was on there a couple.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway,
awesome. We got a hashtag numbers from Hud's dog. Let me see here. All right, let me see. What else do we got? So game week 12, game week 13. We'll spend a little bit of time on it. A little lengthier of a segment, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes here. Talking about the week ahead. I guess the point of this is to make these streams more relevant for people catching up on like a Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday time of the week. Mm-hmm. Starting with game week 12, a couple of the matchups that I like here. Let me see here. Didn't mean to show that, but I like the Yankees and A's in New York, and no Mason Miller on the mound for the A's. So just Yankees teeing off, hopefully. Anything jumping out at you guys?
I think that definitely the Mets for both game weeks upcoming, sticking with some of the more expensive options. So Mets are at Cincy, at Washington for the next 2 game weeks.
Nice.
You're only getting 3 games in the potential 4, but 3 is enough. You can still get what you need out of 3 games. So there's that. But then on the budget side of things, and something that I actually executed on, is the either side of the White Sox Kansas City matchup, because they've got 4 games. You got weak pitching on both sides. And I actually decided to buy a full White Sox stack, similar to what I did with the Diamondbacks and Colorado. Yep. And it paid off a couple weeks ago. 5th place finish, grabbed a Mullins. And so decided to go that route. And I started working on this Friday night, buying the cards. I did a couple cheap ones, Benintendi and Grandal. Decided that I was going to bypass Tim Anderson because he was expensive and doesn't hit homers. And let me see here. I'll pull this up. I went with here it is.
You went with Jimenez, yeah?
Yeah. Went with Andrew Vaughn, Luis Robert, and Eloy Jimenez, who I put a bid in on an auction yesterday afternoon. And then he had emergency appendectomy surgery. And so now I'll be lucky to get $5 for that card. So it stinks because he was the most exciting player from that stack, but I still like the stack. Andrew Vaughn, Grandal, Luis Robert, Benintendi. You got the 2 through 5 hitters, I think, in the lineup there. Tim Anderson 1. So, but then you can go on the Kansas City side. You go cheaper there. MJ Melendez. You're going to avoid a guy like Witt probably to, try and keep it a more affordable stream. But I do like that as a cheaper option.
How much has that helped you? Did you say you put that lineup in this week or?
No, this is
already?
upcoming.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better hope they're not spending it all today. 17-4 right now.
I know. Ooh. I saw that.
That's off Graham Ashcraft too. I got a text from my fantasy baseball league. Just Graham Ashcraft, you're such an asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 7. Talk about like a swing in the week in the past couple hours, but 17-4 White Sox over Cincinnati. That game's still going, and then 16-7 Texas over the Angels, and that's only in the 7th.
Ooh,
Toronto just finished 10-1. The runs came out today.
Oof, insane. Hopefully Jimenez is back. I had funny story. I had my appendix removed the day that I found out I made my high school baseball team. Like competitive high school baseball. I was playing through tryouts and I slid head first into second on a double, just to kind of show my hustle, and hurt so bad. I was like, what was that? The next day they posted the list online that day. The baseball coach was my PE teacher. And I was like, hey, I'm going to the doctor. I'll be back for practice. had to call him from the hospital. I'm like, I'm not coming back for practice.
That's a brutal day.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
do you think that like ruptured anything or like pushed it along or?
No, it didn't rupture, but we got in there in time. It was, I mean,
oh man,
dude, it was kind of painful.
Sure.
Yeah, I like that Mets stack. Yeah, they got Green and Lodolo. I think Lodolo might be a buy low type of guy too. I don't know how low he got on the marketplace pricing wise. But his stock is a little bit down. He got shelved a couple times.
Yeah.
I think the Cubs is a nice stack this week too. We've seen that be successful. They're playing St. Louis at home. Bellinger's looking good. I think Dansby's dipping a little bit in price, so it could be a good opportunity to get in on him. And Horner, Suzuki, Wisdom's looking good this year. CJ Morel, hopefully coming up soon. Like, I think from what I hear, he's like tearing it up in Iowa, like AAA. And he was a lot of fun to watch last year. So, see here, and Mervis making his MLB debut. That's a big one. So, a lot of people are scooping him up in fantasy. I know he's already scooped up in my fantasy league, but he's going to be a hitter. I think kind of solve the Hosmer Mancini solution over there. So that's who I had in game week 12.
I would say the last one you could take a look at would be Giants against Washington.
Yep.
Pretty decent matchup there.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm sold. I mean, we've been hot lately. The bats have been a little hot, which I love. Tyro Estrada's looked really nice. Like, I'm kicking myself for not picking him up and just having him as a staple guy. But Giants are looking good too. The Nationals pitching is actually like not bad though. I picked up Josiah Gray as a streamer last week. Super cheap. I think like $3 or $4. He'll stay in the rotation. See here, Outman, Hap. Yeah. Some streaming pitching matchups that I like for game week 12. Stroman, St. Louis. I could see maybe like Braxton Garrett and Zach Gallen being a pitcher's duel out in Arizona. That's like a cheap option. Erod at Cleveland. We like Erod.
Yep.
Lynn at KC and Justin Steele again in St. Louis.
I feel like we should determine what we feel is a reasonable price point to consider a streamer. Like, what's that ceiling where all of a sudden it's like, this is a guy, not a streamer?
$5 to $8 range.
Yeah. I like that. Sub 10.
Yeah.
Keep it a single digit.
I picked up Steele as a streamer for 14, but when I saw him there, I liked the lineup. I liked the matchup enough where I was against the Marlins that like I knew I was going to be keeping him and not just like throwing him into junk leftover lineups. So
yeah. The reason I ask, and I think I said this to you right before the show, is I like Bieber. Bieber against Detroit, right? I think it is. I grabbed him for a deal. I think there's one for 15 sitting on the floor. You could get less on an offer. So he's in that next tier up. He's a little undervalued based on not being as lights out as you might think, but probably a guy that I'll just hold on to after using him this week.
Yeah, when you said that, it made me want to go just immediately buy Shane Bieber. Love Bieber. Justin, Shane, either Bieber. I'm down with.
Another one, Nate Eovaldi is against this is game week 12. Nate Eovaldi against Oakland. He has been looking pretty good, and he's coming off a complete game shutout.
He's been nasty. Yeah, that was complete game shutout. That's a nice one too. 5 points.
I think it was against
5 points extra, Greg.
The judgeless Yankees.
He's on my team. Can we make up a rule for a complete game shutout since he's on my team? And
hell yeah, why not? If for single, I mean that's so rare these days. We might as well. No pun intended. I'm down. Should we call it the same as a?
No, I'm kidding. We don't have to do that.
We'll talk about it. I like it. I think it's that probably happens so infrequently. I don't have the stats, but that doesn't. How many pitchers go the distance anymore? Yeah, it's like Sandy Alcantara every week.
It is super rare.
Eovaldi.
Yeah. Sandy's of course, and I think another buy low guy too. I mean, like I love Sandy. I think I've been keeping an eye out for him. His price just hasn't dipped too much. Like he's still. Everyone knows he's still a dude. So let's start collecting these hashtags. Hashtag numbers. Let me see here. Let me make sure. Give me 1 second. I'm going to choose.
If you want to go to the bottom of the barrel, Sean Manaea against Washington, $2.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, nice.
He's had some good starts this year too. He's a guy. I didn't mean bottom of the barrel based on Manaea. I just meant based on price. I actually like Manaea in spots.
Yeah.
So I did scoop Eovaldi prior to the season.
Yeah, he's a good start this week.
$5. He's at 16. Or no, just kidding. Good. He's at 8.
I think he's 8.
As we wrap up the collecting the hashtag numbers in here, people are rolling in. James, what's up? Hud's dog, finally, let's go. We made it for the first one. A couple of stacks that I like in game week 13 for the weekend coming up. Rangers at Oakland. They get Mason Miller on Friday, who looked like a stud. But other than that, I mean, the Rangers just rake. And I think Seager's close to being back too. I had
such high hopes for Seager this season. I hope he comes back and rakes.
We're still early. I mean, going into the middle of that lineup, like the Rangers have raked. So it's
it's a fun lineup. I got real. I'm real happy with the dividends on my offseason Semien purchase, and then holding on to Nathaniel Lowe as well.
Oh yeah, he's been on a tear. I like the Sox too versus St. Louis at Fenway.
Yes.
Who are some Sox bats that we could take a look at and see, maybe what their pricing is right now, and see if we can. Justin Turner is actually a good buy right now, to be honest.
Yeah, and honestly, this is a high risk, high reward, but I don't think that Jarren Duran is ridiculous yet. He is far more expensive than he was a couple weeks ago. I think I got him for like $5 a couple weeks ago, but there's one sitting on the floor for 14 right now. That's a guy batting 5th in the 3rd highest scoring lineup in baseball, and he's hitting a double every single game. So decent option there. And I think that we're going to see, his floor is thick at $20. So he's on the rise, but high risk, high reward. Cause he is, you're buying high here for sure.
Speedster Turner. You're going to have to get him in a Dodger jersey, but it's $7. So that's a nice deal.
That is, that is good.
I might have to grab one of those, honestly.
Yeah. No kidding. Who else is over there?
I think I don't know if you had said it before we went live, but I think you said at the top of the show, Tristan Casas is a guy that he's not quite producing yet, but he looks like a guy that is going to break out at some point. He hit a monster shot to center today, a little bit more affordable, and a guy that they continue to bat 6th, 7th in the lineup. They're relying on him to, they're giving him the ABs in that spot and letting him work through it.
There's only 3 of them on the market total, and that's another rookie situation that we just talked about earlier in the episode, right? So it's 3 Tristan Casas. If he starts going crazy and I think all those balls that he hit were I was listening to a baseball podcast this week, and he's hit 4 balls at Fenway that would have been home runs in 25 of 30 parks.
Yeah, he's waiting to get hot. I completely agree.
I think there was one the other night. It would have been a grand slam, but the wind was blowing in, and it just ended up dying at the warning track, dead center. Like any other night, monster grand slam to deep center field. So definitely some tough luck, but you can tell when a rookie looks lost. He does not look lost at the plate.
Yep. There we go. Milwaukee, I love at KC. KC's pitching struggles, and then Philly, your stack. Yeah, you got a Philly stack, don't you?
I do, yeah, and it's finally starting to do some things for me. Whoa. Trey Turner is a decent buy low to look at right now. Jose Ramirez is a decent buy low to look at right now. I actually like Cleveland over the next month. They've got a pretty soft schedule. Mm-hmm. They're in one of the more ideal divisions in baseball in terms of strength of pitching. But yeah, definitely Philly. Schwarber with a home run today.
If you don't already know this, might put a smile on your face, but next weekend they're at Coors Field.
Oh, I know, baby. Yeah. I am very ready for that stack. And I think the most exciting one is that I bought Castellanos for $5 in the offseason, and he's looking good. Batting over 300, hitting for power. So let's hope that's the one. I'm gonna have to stack Aaron Nola along with the bats. So
yeah,
that's an exciting one.
How do you feel about this? Is a big risk, but Trevor Story at $10 or at $9.38.
I mean,
knowing there's only five on the marketplace.
When's he back?
We don't know. It could be a month. It could be mid to late season.
Oof, I don't know if I'd do it. I'd rather stream a pitcher, I think.
Yeah. It kind of just depends on the way that you're going about it, right? It depends on what percentage of your total role that is, and what your approach is to it. Because I'm starting to fool around with the buy and sell, the ebbs and flows, right? Like that Arizona Colorado stack was the first time I tried something like that. It paid off. It's not always going to work out that way, but I got a reward that was worth $5 less than all 5 cards that I bought. So I sold the Mullins for $35. I spent $40 on all 5 cards, sold a couple of those cards off. So if you have the time to move in and out, then your money could be better spent. But if you're looking to just slowly accumulate a collection and just set it and forget it, not a bad time to grab a guy that could get slotted right into the middle of a high octane offense.
We got a tip from Borland. Alex Kirilloff is back. Last year's card has some multi-position utility. Panther Rob, we're going to get to CodeBreakers in just a second here. Let's do the drawing. Let's see who wins this drawing. With that said, I didn't have time for any pitcher streams coming up on game week 13. But again, like as next week's episode rolls along, we'll do a little bit more like double game week ahead, looking forward to like some pitcher streams and stuff like that. But we got it all covered. Let me see here. All right, we got 13 entries. If you haven't gotten in there yet, hashtag numbers in the chat right now. I'll give you like 30 more seconds.
Last stack for game week 13. Did you already say Texas at Oakland? Yeah, you did. You did say Texas at Oakland. Okay. Yeah, I think we got it covered then.
Grossman came in huge for me one of these weeks too. And I don't know what their outfield situation. I will say this. It's a bummer. About Cleveland, like they're a little bit slow to start, right? Like I noticed, Oscar Gonzalez is down in like AAA now. Like they optioned him to AAA, and that was a bat that I actually really kind of liked early on. I think buying low on, the Guardians could be a cool thing. Buy low on these guys who are in cold states. And then, the summer is going to heat up a little bit. Ty France is a huge buy low too. I bought Ty France for $7 yesterday. There's another $7 Ty France on the marketplace last time I checked. And then the next floor above that was like $12. So jumps up pretty big. All right, we got it. Let's take a look at this giveaway. This is for a Martin Perez pitching against the Oakland A's next week. Thank you all who stopped in and entered. Next up is Candy CodeBreakers. John Riley. There we go. Congratulations.
First guy in here today.
Phillies
Phil's fan. You love to see it. That Bryce Harper is an animal.
Oh my God.
Fastest man ever to come back off of
and hitting immediately.
Yeah.
I feel like I just continue to talk about how delinquent my standard fantasy league is, but I picked him up off waivers on Sunday night last week.
Oh, wow.
Like checked thinking like there's no way in hell. I want to see who drafted him, and then boom, just he's there. Yep. It is. I've never been happier.
Yeah, that's a big grab.
That's a league winning grab right there. Nice. All right. Should we take a look at
both? Ty Francis just got bought.
Really?
After you said that.
Ooh, look at you, market movers.
John, shoot me a DM or pop into the Discord. Shoot me a DM on Discord or Twitter, and I'll send that over to you tonight. CodeBreakers, how we doing?
Did you guys do it?
Nope. So I did. I've done one per week, and it's. I think I really like it. I think it feels like I'm on Windows 95 in 2023 when I'm playing it a little bit. That will improve. I'm not going to criticize them for that, and they're making improvements week to week. But it has driven me to buy more team packs and then some pieces on the marketplace that I need. the value is so volatile because like once you get your 3 in order and you get it correctly, then you can sell them and so the prices just dip immediately. But I guess, did you guys talk about it last week? Did we kind of introduce what this was for people that may not know?
No, we did not. We actually, like they had pushed it off last week to the middle of the following week.
That's
so
right.
We kind of said was that they pushed it off. And, like, unfortunately, like, I mean, how much time does it take you? Like, I just kind of regretted buying the team packs because I don't have time to monitor this during the day, like during the day job. And I don't know like how much of a heavy lift it's going to be. I would like to try to get this stuff done. And like, I do have some team packs. So, I mean, maybe there's one that we could take a look at. One of them's coming soon. So like an hour.
Jump in. Yeah. I mean, well, shout out to the Talking Candy Discord where the answers are flying around on a daily basis. But knowing that you have a significant amount of the team packs and have opened them, that does put you at an advantage here, either to enter and complete these or to sell them in the moment, which I know the timing is tough for that. But that's my only complaint really at the moment, which is not even a complaint. It's just because I haven't ponied up the cash, but I just don't have the pieces. And it just becomes like a race to either open packs to get them or figure out if it's worth buying them off the marketplace. One thing that we don't know, unless I've missed it, is what the icon pack we're going to get is, like what the prize actually is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think I have 2 come in.
So it's basically you only get that prize if you're one of the first X number of people to complete it. And then anybody that completes it accurately will get the 15 points towards that month's campaign. So 3 per day, 2 days per week that the challenges come out or that the codes come out. So a max potential of 90 points per week, which puts you at 360 points that you could get for the month on a given campaign. So a lot of points to be had. But like you said, also those packs, the ability to win additional prizes if you execute with speed.
Have you done any, Nate?
I haven't. I've seen everybody talking about it in Discord. It seems that, so let me preface it with this. I'm the last person you want to invite to trivia night. I'm terrible at it. You ask any of my friends, you don't want me on your team. It's just not my shtick. Like, it's just not. So to me, so rare is the baseball knowledge, fantasy baseball, DraftKings, things like that. That's the game that I'm looking for. But it looks like a really clean execution, and I can tell that people are having fun with it. Like you said, in the Talking Candy Discord, we've got a sub channel for CodeBreakers, and there's a lot of people working on it together. And that was the whole point to me, was give the community something to do together. So it seems like a very positive thing. So I'm not doing it because I don't think that it is a good thing for Candy. It's just that there's only so many hours in the day, and I put a lot of time into fantasy baseball at large, a variety of different leagues, including the Roto League that we're doing with our Candy assets. We're actually filling up the 3rd contest right now. So that's just more my lane, but it seems like people are enjoying it. And it does seem like a nice way to interact with the website, interact with your collection, and at a fairly reasonable price point as well.
Yep. Yeah, Eric, you want to pull yours up? We'll see if you got pieces, because I think
let's talk about a couple of them that like happened last week too. I mean, like I know was Machado one of them last week. Like a couple people needed certain things. Like how did it go last week? And that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like the reason I haven't done it is because like I overestimated what I always do, like my bandwidth on things, right? It's just like crap. Like man, I want to do it so bad. It looks like so much fun, but my bandwidth just shrinks down.
So what packs did you scoop? Just generally, which teams did you buy a lot of packs for? That might help us pick which one of these.
I think I did 4 of the Angels packs. I got 3 Trouts. I did a couple of the Mariners, a couple of the Yankees. What else did I get? A couple Padres, a Giants pack. Let me see here. We can take.
All right, I'm trying to think. So we have shout out to Talking Candy Discord. I have the answers for tape measure blasts and the hard level, which is just totally trial and error.
Yeah, so looks like I got Yankees, Angels, Mariners, definitely a Giants, more Mariners, Padres. I got some Mets, some Braves packs.
Yeah, this one. So challenge 2,
Jays.
So okay. Here are the pieces that you'll need for tape measure blasts. You need CJ Cron, Christian Yelich, and Ryan McMahon, 2 Rockies and a Brewer. So It doesn't sound like you got that. Tour de bases is 4. You need Freddie Freeman, Arenado, Yelich again, and then Trey Turner.
Nope.
And then the last one, which is just completely trial and error, was Alejandro Kirk, Kyle Tucker, and Devers.
I might have that. I don't have Devers though. So
see, if we could trade on the platform, I could send it to you.
Click into one. Yeah, seriously, man. Click into one of those, Eric, because it actually doesn't look too bad. It's extremely primitive, but like there's still cool design elements within it.
Yeah,
I like that.
And you can tell like this is 1.0 of what we'll get to, which will be really cool.
Oh,
it's still it's a really cool step forward in what Candy has done on their website so far. So it has some really exciting elements to it.
Alejandro Kirk.
All right, you have Kirk. Did you buy an Astros pack?
I did. I think I have a Tucker. I don't know if I have a Tucker or not, but
you've got really good pieces here for down the line, like
Jordan, Bregman, Strider, Harris. Yeah, I got some solid pieces, but I don't have a Tucker or a.
Yeah, I went out and ended up just buying a couple, way overpriced when it comes to the fact that they're team packs commons, but I wanted to complete it and get within the first 50, which I did for this one specifically.
I think it's important to remember that while it might feel overpriced in the moment, that similar to So Rare, it's the kind of thing where you have the utility of these cards moving forward.
Yeah.
So as you build out that collection, as you move towards having, a fuller set of these, if you're not trying to flip them, it's going to keep paying dividends. It's going to keep getting you points. And even if, it was James pointed out that it's the first 50 people that win a pack, but then it's also helping you with those points towards campaign packs. And I think that the campaigns are going to develop further in terms of what those rewards are. So it really isn't, if you're going to do it, start now and get the most utility that you can out of it, because it is very similar to So Rare in that way, where you have your collection, you're going to be able to continue using it. You're not burning these cards. You're just submitting an answer.
I like that. True. That's a good point. That's a really good point. And I think it looks clean, man. This is cool. I mean, it's V1, but
I do feel like it would be smarter if Candy locked if you had to kind of lock them for the duration of day, whatever, just because that would drive such crazy scarcity. They would sell way more team packs. If my Devers, I couldn't put it in, get the points, and then sell them.
Yeah, you're right.
Same day, right?
It's a great point.
What's the market been looking like? Like, how quickly does it move? Like, how many people are completing?
I mean, I was shocked in that I bought like a couple Rockies packs when I realized that you needed 2 Rockies for the first challenge. Of course, I got every other Rocky except those 2.
Sure,
but the serial numbers were still like in the 200s or 300s out of 3,300 sold for the Rockies.
Wow.
So it's not that much. We're about 10% of the supply has been sold. I thought this would drive a little bit more in the rush, but if the pieces are below $5 on the marketplace, there's no reason to buy a pack.
Right.
I don't know if either of you have to jump them down to continue the extended live stream here, but I think we need to quickly put in our guesses on Sunday Night Baseball.
I'm glad you brought it up. I was going to bring that up next. First pitch probably already happened, but we're still early. I got my pick.
I've got my pick. Greg, you go.
Okay.
Or do you want to go? Do you want to go last? We know which way Eric's going.
Do we?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I feel this is tough. This feels tough. It's what is it? Urias versus Musgrove?
Musgrove,
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Oh man, I've been thinking about this all day. I'm gonna go Dodgers. I really wanted to go Padres, but I feel like Musgrove's gonna get shelled.
Oof. I hope he doesn't get shelled for my Sorare lineup's sake. He was supposed to go. I think he was supposed to go Friday night versus Kershaw. Something happened there too. I'm going Dodgers too.
Man, I was gonna go Dodgers. It's tempting to try and pick up a point on you guys, but I think I got to go with Urias here. I just like the pitching matchup way stronger for the Dodgers, so
yeah,
going Dodgers as well. Clean sweep.
Yep.
Right.
Padres will turn it on one of these days. You're Padres and Mets, Nate.
Is this week 6 or week 7? It's week 6, right? Last week was Phillies Astros.
Good question.
Yeah, I think it's week 6.
It's week 6. It is. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, no movement then. That means Nate and I are still 2 games back. We got to start being contrarian, Nate.
Am I 4-1?
Yeah, click the share screen.
Okay, there we go. Sweet. Where are you at? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Yeah, 4-1. There we go. Ooh, this is nice.
Looking good. It's tempting to go contrarian until you get it wrong, and all of a sudden you're further game behind. So it's one of the intriguing conversations that we're having in the Talking Candy Discord about the Roto League that we've been playing. I know you guys have both taken part in it, but it's this balance between there's everybody's using similar players, similar stars, and you want some level of contrarian in order to differentiate your lineup. But if you stray too far away from the guys that are gonna perform, like it's more like you got to get one guy that's contrarian and a bunch of guys that are relatively safe. So but it's all different philosophies. I also I was gonna say, before we completely move on from team packs and code breakers, I was gonna show off the one thing that I did decide to grab. If you want to pull my screen up there.
Boom.
Grab myself decided to jump on right when the packs dropped and got the #1 Red Sox pack.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was pretty happy to grab that. So that will never be sold. That will stay in the collection. Just a cool one to have.
That's
just want
cool.
to show that.
That's fantastic.
Love that.
I remember I bought last year's team pack, Red Sox team pack, not #1, but it was someone's number. Let me look. Same mentality. I was like, I'm just gonna keep this one.
Yeah, it was just a cool thing. I mean, by far my favorite collection that I have been accumulating over the last year and a half with Candy is my Red Sox, and specifically a lot of Devers. But I think I have every Red Sox play of the day. I've got every Red Sox card, at least in rare. So it's, to me, that's what I'm excited about for Candy, is that they just make such cool stuff, and I love the Red Sox collectibles. So getting something unique like this, even though it was only $5, being able to just jump on there at the time and get a cool piece like that, that'll go in the stash.
That's sweet.
You're ready to crush team leaderboards whenever they happen someday.
I'm waiting.
Cool. I don't have any bets today. I've been getting rocked lately. Not too bad though. I did catch a little bit of a hot streak, but this weekend has been a little tough. Didn't cook up any underdog, anything like that. I am excited to watch this game though tonight. Should be fun.
Yeah,
me too.
I have a buddy that, and I guess you guys aren't totally familiar with this, but to anybody that lives in Massachusetts right now, you can't watch a sports game without getting absolutely beaten in the face with DraftKings and FanDuel and MGM ads for sports betting, because it just went legal. And I've got a buddy that did the initial like $50 buy-in for it with a little bit of bonus money, and he just likes to do parlays, and he's turned that $50 into $1,000 already. And he hit a 7-game Red Sox parlay with a bunch of prop bets and all that. So it's fun. I mean, it is a cool moment where you get those free bets, and if you stay within your means and play some fun upside stuff, you can create a little nest egg there in Massachusetts right now.
It's so much fun.
That's awesome.
But man, the commercials it's
relentless.
It's a lot.
Hey, we love it though. I mean, sports betting commercials, so rare commercials.
Yeah, so rare is all over.
It feels
MLB
like you're getting
Network.
hit with those on MLB Network all the time.
MLB TV.
nonstop.
Yep.
Bring them.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm good, guys. You, one of you guys want to close it off? I will just say here before we dip out of things, like, yeah, great episode, great chatter from the group here. Appreciate everybody jumping on. We'll be back again next week, kind of at the same time, doing the same thing, covering 2 weeks of baseball so that, you know, this thing stays relevant. And we got some candy code breakers and all that stuff coming up too. But yeah, it's been a blast, man. Great episode. Good to have all three of us here. Yeah. Excited for the week ahead.
It sounded like a good wrap to me.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, hey, we'll shoot you a note when CodeBreakers happens, and we'll be like, "Yo, you have these cards. Get in there."
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, ping me. All right, we're out.
All right.
Peace.